Good morning, everyone. All right, it is Thursday, 26th, I believe. Every time you hear that beep, it's me not staying in the lines. It's me driving how I used to color. Anyway, so I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about today. I was actually just going to listen to music today. But when I woke up this morning, I'm putting chapstick on my lips again. When I woke up this morning, I was getting ready to upload the video that's processing now onto YouTube. I noticed something about two videos that I posted yesterday, and they were two short, very, 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 very short videos compared to the videos that I usually upload. And one of them was like 6 minutes and some change, and the other one was like 2 minutes and some change, like 2:45 or 2 something. And I uploaded them about the same time. They were minutes apart, and one of them has views and the other one doesn't. And I've noticed this before, but I didn't really pay any attention to it. But it stood out this morning. So one of them was, both of them were of AJ. And one of them, the longest one, which was like 6 minutes and some change. These people are racing. It is too early for that. The loud Mustang and the loud Civic. Oh my God, all that noise. So yeah, they were both from AJ, but one of them was longer than the other, and people were looking or viewing the one that was the longest. And it's interesting because people really don't like the long videos. They like the short ones, you know. I've experienced that, you know, people just don't want to take the time to look at the long ones, and there are others who actually enjoy. Like, I enjoy long videos. Like, if AJ has a video and it's like 4 hours long, I'm on it. Like, I just want, you know, I just like long videos. Because I know there's so much that's lost in short clips. But depending on what your goal is, depending on what your desires are or what you're trying to achieve, that would determine, you know, the types of videos that you watch or the length of them. So anyway, what I noticed is that one of them had views and the other one had 0 views, and the one that was the shortest had 0 views, and it's the one that I uploaded first. And so it was just interesting because the one that people were watching was the one that was titled what was it titled? Change your cause to change your effect, right? And the other one was titled How Cause and Effect Works. Now this is really, it's pretty big, and I would hope that you would take a moment to really realize what's going on here, because people want to be told what to do. People want to be told how to fix things. How can I achieve this? But nobody wants to understand it. They just want to know what they need to do to achieve it. And I have a friend who was struggling with this in the beginning, you know, with this, with the divine love path and all this, you know, learning about whatever AJ was teaching. Like, and even with the law of attraction, like, everything in that person's life was like, how do I just stop this? How do I stop this? Or how do I achieve that? That was the only goal. They really didn't care about any of how anything worked. All that other stuff was just basically bullshit and in their way. And they're like, that's not what I need right now. I need the pain to stop, or I need money to come. One or the other. So when you look at things like this, you continually run into a wall because you never have a full understanding as to why you're even doing what you're doing. All you are understanding is how to do a task. Well, anybody can do a task, but do they understand the task that they're doing? Do they understand the reason why they're doing it? Like, what are the components? that are involved with this instead of just doing something. Because someone can tell you to go dig a hole, but do you understand why you're digging the hole? Do you know what that hole is going to be part of? Do you know, if that hole is going to be connected to something else? This is why it's important to understand the whole of things. And people are so focused on just understanding the fraction, and this is what religions are, and I've said it over and over and over again, whether you're New Age or Christian or Buddhist or Muslim or whatever. People just want to focus on the fraction. They don't give a crap about the other stuff, and it's the other stuff that they need in order to have a full understanding. But people are not wanting this. They're not wanting this at all. And I see that I am very different in this respect than most people, because I remember when I was this morning was taking me back to a time when I was like 8 years old, I think, 7 or 8 years old. And I remember I got a remote control car, truck. It was a diesel, and I took the whole thing apart. And because after I was playing with it, you play with it, but I wanted to know what was going on underneath. I wanted to know how the wheels move. I wanted to know, what was making it, how it was connected and all these different things. And so I took it apart to understand it. I got the screwdriver and undid the screws, and when I was done, I put it back together, but I knew exactly what was going on. And so when, I was working the little remote control truck, as the wheels were turning, as it was backing up, I was actually envisioning what was happening inside. Like, I can see the components moving and working and doing all that it needs to do in order to achieve what it needed to achieve. And that is having a full understanding of what's going on. And most people they just don't freaking care. But then you have to ask yourself, why don't you care? Like, why don't you want to know how things work? Why don't you want to have the full understanding? And the reasons are going to be different for all of you. All of you are going to have different reasons why this is. Some of you don't want to know the truth, so you don't want to have a full understanding because there's something that you're suppressing and you don't want to unlock other things. Some of you are having issues with, how is this right there on my tongue? You have issues with accountability, and so if you understand how things work, you feel you're going to have to be accountable because you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Some people don't want to stop what they're doing, so they don't want to acknowledge, the role that they're playing. It could be, the role that you're playing with your children or your other family members, or friends. Like, you don't want to know this stuff for various reasons. And so if you really want to change who you are, then you're going to have to understand yourself, and you're going to have to understand how things work, not just what to do. Christians are told what to do, but they never achieve what they want to achieve because they don't understand the whole of what is. And this is the issue. This is what I'm talking about. You cannot go through life. Well, you can go through life, but you're going to continue suffering. You're going to continue running into these walls. You're going to continue banging your head. You're going to continue to be upset because things are happening and you don't like that they're happening. Like, this stuff is going to be your life. Whatever your life is right now, expect a continuance of that. It's not going to change because you don't understand how things work. You're like, well, I tried that. It doesn't work. It's like people who, when they read The Secret, they started learning Abraham Hicks, and they're like, well, I tried to manifest and it doesn't work and it's stupid. Well, it didn't work because you didn't understand the whole of it. And it came out later, after The Secret was released, that there was a component that was missing, and the component that was missing is that the feeling has to be there, not just the thought, because that's how they promoted it. That's how they advertised it. All you have to do is close your eyes and think about it. But that wasn't the whole of it. And what you have now is not the whole of it, which is why you keep experiencing pain. So the best way to get out of that is to understand why it's all happening, not just how to fix it, because if you just know how to fix that one thing, then what's going to happen is something else is going to come up that's going to be, why are you in my lane? You're not even on the phone. Oh, Lord, I would rather you be on the phone and swerving, but you're not even doing that. Oh my God. So yeah, the whole is important, people. I mean, you can listen to my videos all day long, but if you do not try to understand what is, like, what's going on, the universal laws, like, it's important, like, the law of attraction. The law of attraction doesn't work by itself. it has cooperative components. What are those cooperative components? Other laws. So the law of compensation, the law of cause and effect, they are all working in unison. So when you say the law of attraction, you're dealing with other laws. But if you never ever know what these laws are, like you can say, oh yeah, I'm attracting this, I'm attracting that. I see people do that all the time. They're like, oh yeah, I attracted this or I attracted that. And I'm thinking, well, do you know why? Yeah, you got it. But do you know why you got it? Can you repeat it over and over and over and over again? This is what I'm talking about. Like, you can't learn anything just by doing a task. Okay, so you dug the hole. Dig another one. Before long, you're gonna have to ask yourself, how is this working? How does the universe bring me these things? So all the things that I've been talking about, like each day I talk about something that's connected to something that I talked about earlier. Or, it could be weeks, it could be months. But it's the whole picture. And this is the issue that people have when they listen to my video and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then I say something that they don't like, and then they, either write some mean comment or unsubscribe or do whatever they do because they hear that one thing that they don't want to acknowledge. And that one thing is part of the thing that they liked. And they don't even know it because people are picking and choosing whatever they want, and that's fine, you can do that, but the whole point of listening to these types of videos is to improve yourself. But if you don't understand yourself, how can you improve yourself? It's like a drug addict can stop doing drugs, but does he understand that he's going to have another addiction? No. So he stops doing drugs. Now he's going around sleeping with everybody. It's still not a cool thing to do. You're still harming yourself, and you're harming those who you're dismissing just by, wham bam thank you ma'am type thing. It's like, do you understand what you're doing? No. Why? Well, that stuff doesn't matter. I just want to stop doing what I'm doing. Okay, so now you stop smoking, or you stop having sex, and you stop doing this, and you stop doing that, and now you just engage in something else that you have to stop doing. And this is what I'm talking about. The reason why you keep doing these things is because you don't understand why you're doing them in the first place. So it's good to no, it is not good. It is the best thing to do, which is understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Churches tell people, tell their congregation, love thy neighbor. Okay, love thy neighbor. But do you understand why you hate your neighbor? Do you understand why you need to love your neighbor? These are things that you have to understand. Why do things just because? Just blindly. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Obviously, it makes sense to you in some way, shape, or form. But it's not going to help you in the long run. My little camera is just moving on its own there. So, yeah. I don't know. What would I title this video? I don't know. I'll figure one out. I had one earlier. But yeah, when I saw that this morning, I was like, what's the point? Like, you're just wasting your time. And the thing is, like, I heard AJ say this a couple of times to the people who attended his sessions. And they're like, oh, I want to do this. And he's like, no, you don't. And in the beginning, I was like, how does he know? It's like, they asked, oh, I want to learn this, or I this is what I want. I really want to be loving. And he's like, no, you don't. And that used to get me in the beginning. I was like, how could he say that to someone? And now I understand it. Like, I get it. Like, you don't. I already know you don't. And like, someone had asked me a question. It was it's actually on there, a comment, about, it was about, we need to feel the emotion. We have to feel the effect of the event. So you have the cause, and the cause is manifesting an event for you, and from that event you're going to feel something, and that is the feeling from that, the effects of that event, I should say. And so you have the cause and the effects. You have the cause, the event, and then the effects. And so this person said, well, how do you, and at the end it just said you have to feel it. And the person had asked, I can feel it, but I can't cry. Like, and so the question is, why can't you? Because, this person is actually my friend, so we've had conversations before, and I've told him over and over and over again. So the question becomes, why are you not listening to the things that I'm saying? Why why do you ask this question now when I've told you the answer many times? The answer to that is you don't want to change. You don't want to acknowledge the things that I'm saying because it's going to take away from the things that you want to focus on. And so if you're like this person is into all kinds of things, the Matrix and the Mandela effect and people controlling this and people controlling that, and all that stuff is irrelevant, but to them it's relevant. To them it's super important, and that's what they want to focus on. And so they're not going to engage in anything that's going to take them away from that. They enjoy doing that because it's to them it's knowledge. So all these people who are, and I know because I've been there. I'm not just talking out of my butt. Like I know what it feels like to focus on these things and the aliens and the planets and the this and the mind control. I know all of that stuff, and yes, some of that stuff is real. And yes, are there other beings out there? Absolutely, there are other beings out there. But that doesn't have anything to do with your soul. And I've said this before. But people just don't want to get it. And the reason why they don't want to get it is because what I said a moment ago, they don't want to give up what they're currently engaged in. So if you're about the energy coming from the event, you know, celestial energies and transforming, if that's what you want to believe, if that's what you want to hold on to, then you're not going to want to listen to anything I say, because everything that I'm talking about is dealing with the soul, is dealing with you right now, not some energy that's coming. The thing is, if anything's coming to you, first of all, something like that can't even happen, because that's not allowing us to have our free will. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't know the whole of something, you'll believe all kinds of things that don't make any sense at all. Like the gift of free will says you can do whatever you want to do based on your desires and your passions. If you want to murder someone, fine, go out and murder someone. If you want to rape someone, fine, go out and rape someone. Like, you have the free will to do whatever it is you want to do. And so the idea of something going to come and take away your free will and transform you without your consent, that is not going to happen. That goes against your free will. But if you don't know the whole of the free will, and you're just throwing it around like you do know something, you're going to believe any and everything that is presented to you, because you're not using the whole to validate the new information that's coming in. I mean, to me, it's simple. But I've been doing this for a while. Like, I've been studying it. Like, I really want to know how this stuff works. Not just, oh, the law of attraction, I can get a coffee, I can get a bike, I can get a car, a house, a girlfriend, a boyfriend. It doesn't matter what it is. You can manifest all of these different things. But that doesn't mean that you'll understand exactly how it works. Because there's going to be times you won't be able to manifest something. And you're going to be like, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. And then you'll say that, you know, whatever, you know, you'll come up with a reason that's not part of the reason why you're not getting it. I know that, because you have to know the whole. If you don't know the whole, you're going to conjure up something to make sense of it. That's what we do. We conjure up things. Look. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, that's a nice orange. It's nice and bright. Subaru's been coming out with some bright, nice bright blue, this yellow, this orange. I wonder if they do have a yellow. I don't think I would like the yellow. Maybe. It's my favorite color, but I don't think that car would look good in yellow. Anyway, so yeah. I would take a moment and ask yourself, why do you even, self-help. Self-help. These are self-help videos trying to help yourself. But really, is that what you're doing? Are you trying to help yourself, or you're just trying to, know more, but not know all of it? I don't know. It's going to be different with everyone. But, yeah. Anyway, that's what I noticed, is that people really don't want to know the whole of it. They just want to know bits and pieces. They want to know what's relevant for them in the moment. And it's that instant gratification thing. Instant gratification will always get you. Because it takes time. There's an expiration date on everything. Everything is an expiration date. If you look at everything in our world, there's an expiration date. At some point, something will start to expire. Even the things that we build, whether it's a building, over time, it will start to decay. It will start to tear down. It will break down. You see it in plants. You see it in, wild. You see it in our bodies. Like I said, everything that we make. everything has an expiration date. And the thing is, there's they're like, I remember AJ saying, and I don't know which video it was, but he was talking about God's love. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about God's love. And there is an expiration date on that. There was for Adam and Eve, when they decided to reject it, and then when they tried to get it back, they couldn't do it. That offer had expired. Like all that, the time. I don't know how long they were alive before. I don't want to let you go. You have been crazy. I don't know how long they were alive before they decided to make that decision to want to be on, be their own gods, or be God, if you will. I'm not sure how long they were alive, but what I do know is when they didn't accept it, and they realized the mistake they had made, they couldn't go back. And that's part of, the whole, the story that we have is, they took a bite of the apple, and once they did that, then once they made the mistake and they tried to go back into the garden, they were no longer allowed back into it. And they were, that gift, that option was never available to them again. And so they had to wait. And the thing is, they had to figure some things out before they could receive, because they're celestial beings now. They're very high in the dimensions right now, but for a while they didn't have that option. And so the offer comes and goes. And the thing is, if you know that it's here and you don't take hold of it, it's like anything else. If there's a special offer, if a cable company's offering you a deal and you don't take it, it has an expiration date. And so you're going to have to live with the fact that you missed out on the deal. And you're going to have to live with it. And then hopefully you can take that information and apply it next time and to different things. But there is an expiration date on it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so active in terms of trying to figure this stuff out. Because I don't know, it's I'm not trying to let something pass me by when I know it's a good thing. But the thing is, this thing is, you have to really prove that you really want it. And if you want it, you have to have a pure desire for it. And if you know that in order to have it, you have to, do some certain things, then you have to do those things. But if you're not willing to do those things, then that means you really don't want it that bad. And that's, now like I said, I now understand what AJ was talking about. Like, people say they want to do something or they want to have something, but they don't want to, exert the energy in order to have that. They don't want to do the work. And so that tells me that it's not important. And that tells him that it's not important. What's important? Other things. But whatever those things are, I hope it's worth it. And the thing is, when I drive around and I'm not making these videos, I'm paying attention to people who cross the street. I'm looking at, I'm just looking at things and observing things. And it's like, I see people and I'm like, wow, like, half of these people don't even know. Like, they don't know anything other than what the world has given to them. And when I say the world, I mean a place that is lost. Like, the consciousness of people who are lost are informing other people and helping them, or trying to help them figure out how to live life, and they haven't even figured it out. Or, and it's like, that's the result of it, and then you see these people, oh my gosh, some of these people couldn't even comprehend anything that you listen to. They just couldn't comprehend it at this point, because there's so many other things that's just bogged down their soul. Like people who just get up in the morning, like this lady crossing the street with her daughter. People who get up in the morning, hurry up, get ready, go to school, they go to work, and, they get the paycheck, and they want to, the thing that they're thinking about is, if mom can babysit, the daughter, or, whatever, so they can go out and have drinks with their friends. And it's like, these people have no clue what's at stake. And I'm talking about their soul. I'm talking about their experience. I'm talking about everything that has to do with them. Like, they are clueless. And so when I see people watching, certain videos and not watching others, there's a certain aspect that is clueless. And it's like they don't understand it. And it's fun. Like, I know it's fun learning this stuff, but can you apply it? It's one thing to say, oh yeah, I know how that works. But if that thing pertains to you and you don't have any desire to apply any of the things that you're learning, what's the point? Like, what's the point? I don't know. You tell me. Since you're watching certain videos and not watching others. But it's just interesting because when I saw that this morning, I was like, this is the shortest video, and it explains the other video, and they don't want to know it. They just want to know, how do I do this? How do I achieve that? Nobody wants to know, well, okay, how did cancer come about? Oh, how do I fix it? Chemo? Fine, I can do that. I can do chemo. I can take some pills. I can take this solution. I can do this exercise. I can do this. I can do that. But nobody wants to understand how it came about. And the thing is, like, when it comes to physical ailments, I've told people exactly why those things have manifested in their body. And they're like, yep, I see it. And then they could care less about correcting it. They just keep doing the same thing. And it's like, that just tells me they don't care. They don't care. And the thing is, they don't even know they don't care. They're like, I care. I'm listening to you. Yeah, you may be listening to me, but you're not paying attention to the point where you're applying these things and stopping the things that's causing the thing that you just asked about. So this is what I'm saying. Like, people just don't care, but they don't know that they don't care. And they don't want other people to believe that they don't care, which is why people say, oh, I care. It's because they don't want you to know that they don't care. It's just a denial. There's a lot of denial all over the place. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because I know some of you don't see it. But it's out there. I see it. It's clear as day. Yeah, I don't know, you guys can see it. I think you guys can see the views of my videos. If you look at just the views of certain videos, you can then see what's important to people. Like, I can see what's important to people. I can see what they gravitate towards. I can see what they don't gravitate towards. And that gives me an idea of where these people are. Like, where's the world right now? Like, what are they really focused on? What is the hot thing right now? It's like, if the law of attraction is big, that's one of those things that, everyone's starting to learn about, but they don't know about it. Like, they know a part of it. And, they're like, I was chatting with someone yesterday, and they said, oh yeah, they read the Secret, and they believe that, you get what you put out. And yes, that's true, but it's so much bigger than that, and so, I had shared other things to help them understand that there are other components involved, with the law of attraction. And that person was very receptive, but the only reason why that person was receptive is because they didn't have any previous knowledge to block what I was sharing. See, these are the people you need the blank slate people. You need to be a blank slate. You can't have this idea that you already know what it is. And so if some of you are believing that you know what it is, you've already lost. You lost that battle. That battle is lost before you even started it. Because you have to be humble enough to understand that, hey, what is out there that I don't know? Because if you think that you know it all, you're wrong. You are so wrong. And I don't believe I know it all. I don't believe that at all. I believe there's so much out there that I don't know. And I also understand that whatever I do know, there's more to that topic that I don't know. And so that lets me know I need to be open. I need to be aware of more, because there's more to be had in terms of knowledge. No, I do not know. But that's the whole point of progressing. like, I don't know about the things that, you know, what's going on in the second and third and the fourth and the fifth dimension. So if I even sat here and tried to believe that I did know, that I would be in error completely. I don't know. Why? Because I haven't experienced it yet. You don't know what you don't know. So, you know, like, I live my life, you know, with the understanding that I don't know it. And the reason why that's a good thing is because I know that there's things out there to know. Like, I know there's more to learn, there's more to understand. There's things out there that will allow me to transform in a way that I'm not even aware of, like right now. I'm not even aware of those things. But I will be at some point. And the only way I'm going to be open to that is if I understand that there is more. And you have to understand that there's always more. There's always something you don't know. So once you think you know it, there's more. There's just more, people. There's so much more. Oh my God, I can't wait to get these struts and shocks in my car. This bumpiness, that's awful. I cannot find, like, the manufacturer, Nissan, changed their struts and shock specs on this model, in the 2014s. And so the manufacturer, like the aftermarket manufacturers, stopped making it because then they had to get the new specs and start manufacturing the new specs that Nissan had put out. And it's like, they're barely even getting it. Like, this is 2014, and like, these companies aren't even releasing their stuff until May. Like, that's how long it's been. So I haven't been able to get replacement parts for this stupid thing. But anyway, that's not even part of this video. But anyway, but that's why you get all this shaking, because it's, my shocks and struts are busted. So yeah. Anyway, pay attention to, or don't. Like, really, it doesn't matter. I mean, I would love for everyone to actually be on track, but the bottom line is there's billions of people who will never understand this for thousands of years. So if you don't know it now, it's not going to affect me. What's going to affect me is my soul condition. Like, my soul condition will dictate if you even interact with me or not. That's how it goes. But let me better explain that, because I can have, let's just say I have a really good soul condition, right? I can still attract people who are violent individuals, because if someone is in error, then the universe is, as you already know, the universal laws are designed to bring that person who is in error back into alignment with love and truth. So if they're in error, they're going to have to be attracted to someone who has love and truth. And this is how I know, like, I cannot stop interacting or having people come to me who are in a degraded state, because there's someone who doesn't understand who's going to be led to someone who does understand. Does that make sense? So just because you have you're old, I can see your hands. Just because, you know, you want to focus and be positive and loving, and you think that you're only going to be surrounded by those people, no, that's not how it works. If you have truth and love, then you are part of the system to bring truth and love to those who require truth and love in order to change from their arid ways, in order to change their soul condition. You cannot change your soul condition to something better by something that is equal or lesser than yourself. So what does that mean? That means you have to interact with people who know more. And so if you're this person who knows more, you're going to be attracted to, you're going to be attracted, and those other people are going to be attracted to you, who are not as loving and truthful. And that's something I have to deal with. And actually, now that I'm saying it, it's easier for me to accept, the people who come to me with, what I used to call nonsense. Well, these people are coming to you with nonsense for a reason. Everybody's not coming to me. Only specific people are coming to me. And so these people who are coming to me are seeking truth or love in some way, shape, or form. Does it make sense? So it's like someone who is angry and living on the streets. and they're homeless, and they're struggling, and they feel nobody is there to support them, and they've never had help, and then you come along and you change their life because you gave them time of day. And so someone like yourself who is loving and took the time out to see what's wrong with this person, because of your love, you have now interacted with this person who is not as bright as you are, because your spirit body is bright or dark right now. You don't have to wait to be dead in order for that to happen. No, your spirit body is glowing right now, or dimly glowing right now, or brightly glowing right now. Like, you have a soul body that is like, when when you listen to AJ or listen to myself, and we talk about the bright ones, we refer to them as spirits who are bright or not so bright in their spirit body. But that's happening to you right now because you have one. So, if you're a brighter being than the one on the street, then you are considered a bright one who went in, not celestial being, but you are considered a bright one compared to the one who is not so bright. And so you've taken that love, you've taken that truth, and you've helped them to see something that they couldn't see themselves because they didn't have the light to see it. They didn't have the love and truth to see it. And so, it doesn't, I know, because I used to think this, I'm like, if I'm a loving person, then I'll only be attracted to loving people. No, you can't get any change like that. You don't get any change like that. And this is where the compassion and understanding come in, because if you are truly a bright one, then you would have compassion and understanding for those who are not aware or bright or anything. If they're in a degraded state, come on. I mean, you have to be able to look at them and see that they're in pain, and then lend that love to them and lend the truth to them and give it to them and allow them to hold it if they want to hold it. So, and that's what, part of the reason why I do these videos, because, in the past I was like, why am I doing these videos for? People don't listen, people don't pay attention. And I had to understand, that it doesn't matter what they do. They can listen to the things I have to say and, go out and cheat on their girlfriend or boyfriend, or, lie and steal and do all these other things that they want to do, and it doesn't have anything to do with me. Like, that's something I had to recognize. So I don't get fully bent out of shape when I see people, doing things that are harmful to themselves. I think it's quite sad. And, if they listen to what I'm saying and they still choose to do that, I think it's unfortunate, but I have to let them do it. Like, I have to be okay with that. Not okay with the things that they're doing, but okay that they have chosen that for themselves. And so, when I look at, people, looking at certain videos and not looking at others, I need to, you know what, 1 second. I think I need to, gosh. 1 second, I'm going to order breakfast. I'll be right back. So, yeah, anyway, I wish the best for everyone. It would be nice if everyone was able to experience a happy, loving life. But I know I don't have any control over that. It would be nice for me because then I wouldn't have to be surrounded by any negativity. But, I have to understand that that's not my call. It's not my call at all. So you have to want it for yourself. I can't want it for you. I can't will it for you. I can desire it for you, but my desires don't have any effect on you. I don't have any control over that. And I recognize that. I understand that. And I'm okay with that, because that means that you don't have any control over me. And because it goes both ways. Everything that goes one way goes back the other way. So being that I can't control you, I have to understand and recognize that you can't control me unless I allow you to. And the thing is, if you have emotional injuries, then you can be controlled. This is why it's important to release these emotional injuries. And I think maybe I'll talk about that. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow on Friday. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, take a look at yourself. Ask yourself what you focus on, what appeals to you, and you may be surprised. Pleasantly, maybe not. But I think any kind of realization of self is amazing. It's a good thing no matter what it is. If you recognize that there's something vile about yourself, that is a plus, because at least now you know what you are engaging in, where it's coming from, how you treat people, how people treat you. Like, if you're this angry, mean person, you have to understand that you're gonna have interactions that are gonna piss you off, and it's on purpose. Like, every time I get irritated, it's on purpose. I don't get angry at the fact that I'm angry. I'm actually quite joyed at the times that I get angry, because it exposes something that's within me that's preventing me from having an experience that is a pleasant one, a positive one, a happy one, a joyful one. That's what anger lets me know. It lets me know that there's something inside of me that isn't supposed to be there. So I can't get angry at the person for making me angry. I may be angry because of what's going on, but at least I get to recognize why it's going on, or I have the opportunity to recognize what's going on. Why does this person do this to me? Like this. So I had, talked about, a long time ago when I worked at a different place, 2 places from now, because some of you know that we move all the time. That this person, used to lock me out of the gate and do all this stuff and wouldn't talk to me. And then I said, out of nowhere, this person just started talking to me. Like, I didn't do anything. Just one day, this person started talking to me. And so I saw a correlation. So the thing is, back when that person wasn't talking to me, like my coworker, I really wasn't engaging with anyone. Like, I would come in, go straight to my office, close the door, and I wouldn't come out until it's time to go home, or if I had to use the restroom or grab lunch. Like, I wouldn't interact with anyone, and unless someone needed to bring me something, in relation to work. But other than that, I didn't talk to people. And so, what I noticed is, like recently, I haven't said this, but I started engaging with people in a way that I've never engaged with them before. And so I used to be a private person, so nobody knew anything about me. And so it was hard for people to read me. And because I'm on this journey of, being transparent and being truthful, and as I release certain things, my true personality gets to come out. And so, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a very outgoing person. But if you know me in person, you would probably think otherwise. You would think that I'm very shy and reserved, and I can be like that at times. But that's how generally people know me, to be very just, to myself and really don't engage too much. But I started interacting with people in a way that I've never interacted with, especially with coworkers. And so they're able to see a side of me that they've never seen before, and I can see the shock in them, when I do certain things, and they're looking at me like, who is this person? But I noticed once I started doing that person stopped talking to me again. And in different ways, it's like they want to engage, but they don't want to engage. And what I notice is that person doesn't really interact with the others as well. And so it's really interesting, because I'm starting to see a pattern. Before, I didn't care, because I didn't really acknowledge anyone else. I just stayed to myself. But what I'm noticing is that when I engage with people, this person kind of slows down in their engagement with others. And it's weird, because I've noticed this in the past, but really not too much. Because sometimes I'll engage and sometimes I won't. It's like I'll engage and then I realize it's best that I don't. Because of my law of attraction, and the things that I'm seeing and the things that would trigger me. Even if they didn't do anything to me, I would respond to things, or emotionally respond to things that they did, if that makes any sense. So there's emotional injury within me. They do something, I look at it, feel a certain way by judging it. Does it make sense? So now it's like I'm not judging anybody about anything. So I'm just, letting them be. But that's what I've noticed, is that, you know, people change because it just, you know, depends on what their angle is. And look, everyone has an angle, people. Everyone has an angle. Unless they're on a path where they don't want to, you know, manipulate or extort anyone. But usually everyone has an angle. You know, you're serving a purpose for someone in some way, shape, or form. Let me see. No, I don't want to go down that street. That's the alley anyway. Krispy Kreme. No, thank you. Yeah, so I guess I'll leave it right there. So yeah, maybe you guys can think about that for a while. Because it can only benefit you if you do. It's not going to benefit me. Only yourself. It can benefit others, but before anything can benefit someone else, it has to benefit you first. You are the one. Like if you're angry, then you're going to affect people in a negative way. And if you're positive, you're going to affect other people in a positive way. So how you are to yourself, with yourself, is going to determine how you interact and how you treat others. It's going to determine the experience that they have. And this isn't across the board, because someone can have something within their soul or have a soul condition where they won't even attract you. You can't even be a part of their experience. You know? Nah, I mean. All right, everyone. Grab this breakfast and get on to the office. So yeah, have a great Thursday, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I think, yeah, tomorrow. I'll talk about that one thing that I was going to talk about. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Bye now.